Hi, it's Lori Montre. Today I want to talk to you about something called somatic experiencing. I want to tell you what it is and what it has to do with your ability to meet your health and wellness goals. I'm so excited to be wrapping up a 21-day journey in somatic experiencing with the amazing Dr. Amy. This woman knows her stuff, and I'm so grateful to have had the opportunity to serve as a mentor in her recent 21-day course called Journey to Calm Aliveness. Now, I've known how important the somatic work is as a piece of the overall picture in overcoming overeating, binge eating, chronic dieting, overeating for some time. And I've been incorporating it on some level in my personal and professional work, but I'm ready and excited to bring it to the Freedom by Nuaria community in a more concrete way. So let's start by talking about what somatic experiencing is. Now, the best way to understand somatic experiencing work is to start by explaining that sometimes really overwhelming experiences, trauma, and even chronic stress can get stuck in our body. Now, if you're hearing this for the first time, you may be asking yourself, what does it mean for an experience or an emotion to get stuck in your body? Well, let's walk through some examples to help clarify what I mean. For my first example, let's say a person is driving down the highway and they're involved in a really bad accident where they're trapped in their car. They're injured. They maybe see a loved one injured or worse. Maybe other cars continued to hit them after they were stopped and they really didn't know what was ultimately going to happen to them. Clearly, this is a scary situation that was out of their control. This event no doubt caused their nervous system to go into high alert. Their survival instincts kicked in and they either tried to get away, fight their way out, break free, or perhaps they went into a freeze state in order to avoid feeling the terror that they felt in that moment. And all of these reactions would have served them very well. The nervous system in this case was doing its job. Let's take another example. Let's say as a child, a person was not able to get the love and attention that they needed in order to feel loved, valued, safe in the world. We'd say that person didn't have a secure attachment. They lacked an attuned caregiver. Their needs were met sporadically or in an inadequate way. This person was never taught how to soothe themselves, how to tune into their emotions and feelings and resolve them in a healthy way. And now, just like the person in the first example, this person experienced a traumatic experience. Their nervous system reacted by going into fight, flight, or freeze. And their reactions were either an attempt to get their needs met or to deny that they had needs. They tried to protect themselves from a situation that was too much for them to handle. Now, as a third example, let's say a person living in our modernized world with all the obligations from their home life, their work life, their relationships, their finances, etc. And they're just chronically stretched too thin. They spend a lot of time in their fight or flight or in their freeze mode in order to deal with demands that are simply too much. Again, their nervous system started out trying to serve them, but our nervous system can easily get stuck in survival mode. When people experience these kinds of overwhelming circumstances, their nervous system may not simply shift back into the natural state of rest and digest, or as it's called, the parasympathetic state, once the threat is over. It's as if the body is still feeling threatened by the event or series of events, and turning off the survival response feels too scary or too risky. And this is what I mean when I say that trauma or chronic stress becomes trapped in the body. The body stays stuck in the stress response and continues to operate in the fight, flight, or freeze response. Now, as a very simple explanation, and all of this is high level, somatic experiencing attempts to promote awareness and release of physical tension that remains in the aftermath of a traumatic event. Somatic experiencing can encourage the nervous system to regulate, spend more time in that optimal state or that parasympathetic state. Many people find that they spend so much of their life either in that high stress, high adrenaline, high cortisol, almost frantic state. And then other people find that they spend much of their time in the freeze state, where they're relatively shut down, disconnected from their bodies, from their emotions, from their life. Others will go back between the two states. And this is a sign of a dysregulated nervous system. Now, when you live with a dysregulated nervous system, it's really hard to achieve health goals. Number one, because your body is not functioning optimally when you live chronically in these states. Number two, you're easily triggered. So you're going to want to turn to food or alcohol or whatever it is to help deal with those triggers. Number three, your impulse control and your ability to make conscious choice, to really tune in and get the direction from your higher brain, all of that is impacted. And number four, your ability to self-soothe may also be compromised. The somatic work is a foundational piece of any wanted change. In order to change your patterns with food and end challenges like overeating, emotional eating, chronic dieting, or binge eating, you have to change habits, your mindset, and build emotional resiliency. However, and this is so important to understand, it's really difficult to change habits, mindsets, and to build emotional resiliency when your system is living in survival mode. For most people, bringing in the somatic work is a total game changer. They're able to get the results that they've been working toward so hard in a much quicker way, but more importantly, they get to come alive again. They get to find that peace, safety, and calm that is their natural and desired state. And from their place of peace and calm, they're able to make the changes they've been wanting to make for a long time. This work is so important that I'm putting together a 6-week course beginning in October that will include a dive into your nervous system as the solid foundation upon which all of your other work can build. This class will also provide some education and further support and exercises to overcome trauma on a mental, spiritual, emotional, and biology level. I want to invite you to join me on September 18th, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, for a clarity session on the effect of trauma on your life and on your weight loss journey. It's just a place for you to come and get some idea of what this journey, this step of the journey could look like for you. So I really encourage you to sign up for the clarity session below and just see where this can take you. Thanks.